Okay, good evening, peers. My name is Dago Martinez. It's a pleasure to talk to you these minutes. I hope we can have a nice time. The purpose of this meeting is divide this great topic, like is education in Colombia. Therefore, the objective about the education in Colombia debate has as a purpose socialize on a very important issue such as the education of our country. With this debate, we want to highlight the progress that education has had in our country and what we still have to solve so that education in Colombia becomes of quality and inclusive through the territory. For this reason, I appreciate your participation and assistance to this panel discussion. Welcome you all.
Thank you, partner Bravo.
Thank you so much.
My name is Milton Batidas. Welcome the speech on the panel, the discussion on the topic on the Colombia education. To begin with the social reparation, the corruption and bad citizens, the practice and the ethical crisis and study and the private institutions, disinformation and the education of the media, the right and the wrong, the bursting and the title and sensing and the mission, but most the people is the school and the students. Which by the education system lots more students. The detail knows geography, history, and the mathematics, but they cannot more about the violence, drugs, soccer, and violence. Continuation with the topic is necessary. The good and the bad in the Colombian education. The good. We must celebrate the evaluation and the quality of the basis of the education is beginning stories after the difference general allow the can handle the scholarship to the foreign higher education. The government declared as the stimulation for low incomes in the students, how the parents feel of bank, the consequence and this is time is the cut of the national budget but rapid and the profit. It's necessary debate social equal in the mismatch the money in the all Colombian education are issues that in the negative effect in the economic, technological and the research and development and the different economic sectors. Our country, the elements combination corruption and different and the Colombian political class led the more extensive problems in our society. The fifth aspect is establishing that we are the low number of teachers and the quality inflation there is not curriculum and the teacher on the part of the state. Second aspect I would like represent that teacher salary. Here are the teachers who work for us and the third part is not excellent service meaning graduation report. Third aspect and the theme of the question is the fact that the classroom excessive research in the less and the less vocation and the more political science how the process and the selection opponents of provinces depend on the degree and inclusion, political or the number, the votes and the you can, the probably the candidate of the youth. Yes, thank you, partner.
Okay, thank you, my peers, Milton. Really, I agree with you. Corruption is the sickness about Colombia, because politicians and other people steal the money. The That money is for the education, but these people steal, and for this reason, education in Colombia is bad. Thank you, Mario, but I disagree with you because Milton, pardon. I disagree some points because Colombian education has a development about the improvement in the education. It is not too bad. Colombian education has improvement the last 20 years, I think.
Yes, yes, partner Bago. We continue to the other partner.
Okay. Hello, classmates. My name is Ingrid Daniela Tose. The development of this debate on the topic in education in Colombia is an important basis for the recognition to the progress in of territory and the recognition in the strengths, weaknesses, and aspects to be improved. It is also a great opportunity to get to know the topic in a broad way from different points of view to help us to establish a critical perspective of the situation, and in a certain way as a group to provide conclusions to let us to establish the motives and the possible solutions. And it is a very important topic since one's awful task within society is to contribute to problem solution.
Okay, thank I like your point of view.
Thank you, partner.
Okay, I'm going to continue about the question for Dago. Okay, my name is Cristian Realpe. I'm working as English teacher at Academy in Pasto. Okay, according to the question made by that, I can consider that Colombia has a good education because Colombia has made remarkable progress in terms of coverage in basic and secondary education, and also Colombia faces two critical challenges. For example, high levels of inequality from the first years of education and a low level of quality in the education system. And nowadays in Colombia, the most of the students are making a strike in order to defend the public education. It also analyzes the strengths, of the education systems in Colombia, as well as the challenges it faces, between other between Colombian education and evaluation system. The initial education and comprehension early childhood to higher education. Yes, that's it.
Thank you, my partner, Christian. Really, I would like to highlight the progress that education has made in Colombia in the recent decades. In the quality of the teaching, the improvement in the creation of the physical plans, as well as the access that has been provided with the education. With free education, in primary and secondary, so that the many children in the territory can access acknowledge in both rural and urban areas. I would say that despite the situation that has across the country for many years by armed conflict and political divisions, governments really that had passed during the 20 or 30 years have invested in education in Colombia. By this, I do not mean that the efforts that governments have made to counteract the illiteracy has been successful. Why? Because the resources provided for education have been limited, really limited in Colombia. According to the organizations to Economic Cooperation and Development, OCDE, listen to me, Colombia is the country that last invests in the public education. Approximately 3.445 pesos per students is invested. I consider is very little money to education in Colombia. Therefore, it has not been possible to eradicate this problem effectively. Despite the fact that access to primary and secondary basic education is free, it has not yet been possible to overcome the countries of the region. Are you there that say the Colombian has a great challenge to advance in education of the country, starting by providing a better quality, quality in to girls and boys of the rural sectors, since in this place education is not the best. And they do not have physical plans equipped of technology resources and quality materials for an optimal education. The rural sector is very bad in this theme. We also talk about one of many problems that is plaguing us today, as my partner Milton said, corruption. Corruption is the best sickness for us. This has allowed the money that is injected into the education of our country is in the hands of politicians and other people for their own benefits, stealing the possibility of many children who can receive a quality education and even enter a school to be educated. I think the rural sector is the most affected of this as there is not monitoring of the public resources in the most remote places. Is where these unscrupulous people make theirs. This is my point of view about the education in Colombia. Really, we have to improve our education. We have to take out corruption. We have to invest more money to our education. This is my point of view about education in Colombia.
Okay, about your opinion, I agree in some topics because, for example, about the difference between rural and urban institutions is true. For example, I studied in a rural high school and the difference are very high. For example, the opportunities, the materials are very, very bad. If you compare with the great cities, it's very different. The opportunities, the materials, the locations is high, and this is because the problem with the corruption.
Okay, thanks, my peer Ingrid, for your participation.
Okay. The advance of the educational system in Colombia, you can highlight that the change of the notion of the quality of education was due to the introduction of the approach based of the competence. Um, it allows the students to develop skills, knowledge, and values that allow people to understand the environment in which they live and be able to interact and transform it. What is done in a certain way is united with education and the social environment in an active and participative way. This brought with the definition of the objectives, competence to develop, the strength of evaluation methods that will contribute to defining the quality to be developed. The strengthening of evaluation methods contribute at defining a quality education where teachers will guarantee effective show practice and math that will guarantee the result of reliability in the acquisition of learning. It is true that the Colombian educational system, in comparison with the Latin American countries, has advanced, I would say. This is compared with the education of the past decade. According to the Andreas Fleischer, the director of the education section of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, all the teachers of the country have made the education system had improved in recent times. However, Fleischer emphasized that the country must look for a balance because there are great gaps in the allocation of resources in rural and urban institutions are compared. At present, we see that there is no equality of conditions between the educational institutions. First, the difference in opportunities between public and private schools, where private schools enjoy more help. On the other hand, difference in support between rural and urban schools, where rural schools have opportunities but not the same way as urban institutions. If we compare the contribution to the institution of the big cities and the cities far from the big cities, research also added it is also necessary to find teachers who teach in rural areas or students with disabilities, and we need to make teaching more attractive in rural areas. In my opinion, this topic is very important and it must be taken into account since it is the teachers who provide the knowledge to the students. I think it is important to highlight the low remuneration that is required for the work. The other topic is the high complicated division of the national education. With the support from the government, it is important to highlight the programs that support the higher education of low-income people. For example, programs at Perfil Paga, Becacer, and ICETEC, which offer loans for education, among others. These are important supports as they help people who don't have the opportunity to access to a higher education in the country, where it is necessary to increase more support from the nation to education, and it should be increased considering that the education is a right and that should go according to economic growth and where the population grows. In conclusion, the education in Colombia has been generating progress, but it is important to correct the mistakes already made because it not only would improve the quality of education, but also motivates the society to believe in our education and to think about the prosperous future. Such a motivation is necessary that education continues to advance to ensure that people can adapt in any environment where the work of the regulatory bodies of education is to seek in an outdoors and constant way alternatives that continue to strengthen teaching, where techniques, methodologies, and practices may be adequate for the human being to be a great participant in the development of our society. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, my peer Daniela. Colombian education has had a progress, but I consider we have so much to do for education. This is my opinion as conclusion that you said.
Okay, I want to share my opinion according to the situation. No, so public education must be on one of the basis of the national project, as well as other fundamental rights such as health, life, and peace. Therefore, that in Colombia has an insufficient budget should be a general concern beyond sectarian thinking. All Colombians should care about this issue because if today public institutions are emphasized to the detriment of the right to quality education and nothing happens, no? Tomorrow will dismantle the other fundamental rights, economic and social, no? This is my opinion, no, about Colombian education.
Thanks, my pure Christian. We conclude that education in Colombia lack of quality first and second, government has much to do about to improve the education because the rural sectors we can see the fails that the education has in that sectors. Thank you, my peer, for your point of view. I would like to make a question to my peer Milton about education. Milton, do you think that Colombian education is good?
Thanks, Bago. The Colombian reality education today is in particular the parent, the early recovery is too important and the varieties and the particularly and the full weight to the person use as the active educational policy during the second the government Juan Manuel Santos. That is the education policy the only the upper support and the whole one of the 550,000 students who travel for the high school each year. Participants continue thriving especially the education and the youth generation.
Okay.
It's problem constant.
Okay, but you think education in Colombia is good, but in my personal opinion is our education is bad. This is my point of view respecting the question.
Okay, I like the question is for you, Bago.
Yes.
How could the education in Colombia be improved?
Okay, I can say that the following. I will think to improve education in Colombia, we have to invest money. This is the first thing. And the second, take seriously the education theme, because in Colombia this theme is not seriously. For the reason our advance about education in Colombia is not so good like we want.
Thanks, Bago. The continues the questions. I like the question in English, the piece English. Do you think that there has to be they should be made in the Colombian education? English?
Okay. It is important to continue with the foundation of education that are carried out so far. But it is important that within this is to consider the things that affect the quality of education with the idea of providing and offer an education that is effective not only in theoretically but globally.
Thanks, English. You for me question, please?
I go to give a general question for the three, okay? The educational system in Colombia is very good according to the vision of the experts in education. But what is the quality and no conformity with national education by citizens?
Okay. If I might opinion, the problem and the will in the education field can be divided in the two groups, the those generalized in the Bible schools and the church, and those in the generalized the president and the affect in the school. In the teacher is extraordinary in comparison in the with bad secondary, the school teachers and the university teachers, we think the problems in the system and the sector with the black problem basic things in the addition as the curricular training teacher and have the high pedagogical training and the theory abiding of the mind they what they have been trying that is to say between is trying and his professional activity course is not being different. Is accumulate the book budget could be the state the national education. Okay.
Pure Christian, do you have any answer for the Daniela question?
Okay, I can say that education in Colombia is good, okay, because education in Colombia plays a strategic role in the economic and social growth and the development of countries, given that it contributes to the progress of each person and society as a whole. Um, moreover, the strengthening of human capital in the country through education promotes scientific and technological technological development. Core respect when it comes to creating national capacity for innovation, adapting technology to the needs of countries, and addressing the risk of technological changes. Yes.
Uh, Answering the question to my peer Daniela, really I insist our education for me is bad. This is my opinion and my point of view. Daniela, do you think that education in Colombia is inclusive?
In my opinion, the education system has made a progress in providing an inclusive education within the context of education, but in my opinion, it still lacks certain aspects, such as the determination of clear objectives and establishment of adequate tools to provide a personalized education that meets the needs of the student body in general.
Okay, okay, peers. We have we have had all points of view about education in Colombia, and I think consider it is good because we can take out a global opinion about our education, and as a future professionals we have to apport some good things to improve our education. Thank you for your participant in this debate. I think, like I said, I think that the different points of view we could draw the many conclusions regarding education in Colombia. As a future professionals, we have to approach all the time. Thank you for your participation and